Hey, leaders. If y'all have been following us for a while, you know we do long and short format videos talking about leadership, teaching people how to be leaders. We've started a new series. It's called Management Mondays. I think we're also going to do Motivation Mondays. So we're going to put out a couple different short form videos to talk a little bit about management. A lot of the people that are joining our groups and engaging in the discourse are new or entry-level managers, and they just got a lot of questions about everything from how to move up in the company they're in to how to be a better manager and everything in between. So we're going to talk about a few things management related and not just leadership focused. So one of the questions I had was, is an MBA worth it? It's a good question. I did receive an MBA, a master's in business administration, focused on finance. I was someone that climbed up the ranks, worked my way up, put in the hard work, went to culinary school, learned, wanted to be a chef. Someone told me once he was a high level corporate executive chef. Told me that if I wanted to continue to grow my career, I had to get out of the white jacket, because those positions that he held were so few and far between that you would basically be waiting for him to retire to ever have a possibility of moving into it. And that many companies, food-related companies, were just moving away from that. They didn't want to be handcuffed to chefs and rely on them. They wanted to systematize everything. They had recipes, production sheets, everything in between. So, there might, for every one executive chef, there'd be 100 kitchen managers that would basically take the recipes they created and just reproduce that food all across the area. And that's true from everywhere, from quick service, all the different places. The chicken company with the 8 special spices, they don't want you to come in there and recreate anything. They have a proven system and a way to do things. None of the big food service companies that do have the room and the possibility of moving up, they don't want you to change anything. So yeah, if you want to be creative, you can go into some of the small mom and pop or single owner operator places and maybe, use your culinary skills and create some stuff. Maybe in fine dining, some of the wealthy owners, operators will hire people to come in there and, be creative, but that's very small. And once again, there's a immediate glass ceiling as to how far you're going to go up in those, especially the one owner establishments. So, he was instrumental in telling me that, explaining that to me, that I need to get out of the white jacket and move to Thailand, which basically meant a job where I had to wear a tie every day. But it was some of the best advice I ever received. I went back, did everything again. I actually went back, got a second associate's degree in business, continued on, got a bachelor's in business, and as I moved up and became, a manager, a director, multi-unit director, and just continued to move up, I would begin to be in rooms with higher and higher level people. And I noticed that one commonality was that the vast majority had either MBAs or some sort of master's degree. Most of them had master's degree. That was just the reality. If not, they had some sort of advanced certification in their industry. So that was one thing. And then I was just always intrigued too. I would look and see and listen to them and when you get to a certain level, this is a good example. So when you get to a certain level, you're learning everything. And then you get to that level and you begin to take what you learned and sort of make your own mold or own style of either leadership or how you go about doing things. So a good example is with that degree. I believe at the bachelor's level, you're really learning to be a practitioner. You're understanding if it's finance, you're understanding what goes into all the different areas to create all the financial statements, the legal, regulatory things that you have to report, how all that goes. Same with just management in general. You're learning about the background of management. You're learning about the different techniques, the metrics, all that good stuff. At the master's level, a lot of the coursework, it was some advanced study on a lot of the areas, but a lot of it was studying examples. So real world examples. We call them case studies. So we would look at all these different companies that arguably had some of the best people. We looked at Polaroid, the company, Blockbuster, mega successful companies that at some point made decisions that led to results that were just undesirable, right? So we know those companies are out of business. We know that there's other companies that are just hanging on by a thread that either didn't accept or introduce new technologies, or didn't do it quick enough, or were just on the wrong end of the paradigm shift in business or in consumer preferences. And then there's lots of other examples. Obviously, we know some of the big ones, Enron, all those things. And those were just, I guess those were issues of mismanagement, or at least in my opinion, mismanagement, unethical behavior, but you could see the ramifications that it had. And also it created a lot of government intervention. Was it Sarbanes-Oxley and different, things sprung up because of that to protect investors and stuff. But so at the master's level, you're really studying other people because there's no right answer. There's no one single right way to lead. If that was true, everybody would come out and everybody would be successful. Sort of like you see all these people, let me sell you how to be successful in the stock market. Let me sell you a program of how to do this. If it was really a cookie cutter guaranteed thing, they wouldn't sell it. They'd do it, and they'd be the richest people on the planet. So at the master's level, it's a lot of that. It's a little bit more philosophical and theoretical, and there's a lot of debates, and why is this right? Why is it not right? What would you have done in this situation? Do you think this was the right thing to do in this situation? Obviously, hindsight's always 20/20. So if it was successful, it was good. If they were unsuccessful, it was wrong. But not always necessarily. And then also good examples of, Jack Welch is a great example with GE. People that led successful turnarounds in companies and things like that. Great upstarts. So, in the last decade or less, we've seen this huge emergence of companies that are not even profitable, having huge stock offerings. So the company has not proven the ability to create profit at all, but they're having these initial public offerings, and it's questionable, but that's what's hot now. So it's really turned from the ability to manage the company to build an image and attract hype and things like that. And then also, like we always talk about, tell a story that's engaging, that wants people to join in and share in this, whatever it is, you're trying to revolutionize this industry. So do I think an MBA is worth it? I do. I would definitely do it again. I think that just having it on your resume does help some. I think I learned a lot. It taught me a little bit more how to think, and it helped bring me into my own my own style of leadership. I think, finance is the language of business. So it's important to know and understand it so that you can speak it, and so that you can tell if a company is financially healthy. But I'm really now into organizational development and organizational leadership, because I believe that that's how you lead the people that create the end financials, right? So the financials are sort of a book about something that's already happened. So I'm really into that. I'm actually considering going and getting a DBA, which is a doctorate level in business, or a second master's in organizational development, just because I actually love learning. But what I have noticed is that at the doctorate level, you're basically just creating and defending your stance. So you're doing a dissertation and explaining why what you believe is correct. And oftentimes, to be correct or to create something, you have to argue against or even disprove someone else's stance, who is also probably a master's level and or working on their doctorate or already has a doctorate. So that's just something to think about. It's really up to the individual. I know many people, and I work for people. I have worked for many people that do not have master's degrees. They have bachelor's degrees, and then they have decades of just industry experience, which is where you learn from your own experience and from others' experience that teach you. So I mean, that's basically what you're doing at the master's level. You're studying other people's past experiences in the fields you're living in. So no, I don't think it's a necessity. I do think it's probably worth it, especially depending on your career aspirations, how far up you want to go. I think an MBA on your resume will help open some doors, but I do not think it's mandatory. Hope that helped. Check us out. Like I said, check out our long form videos. They're going to be very in depth about subjects. Check these out if you just enjoy a quick view or my take on something. Check us out. Lessons in Leadership. Thanks.